Have you traveled the country on book tours, and if so, tell us about it.
Do you know the Jewish Book Council Network at all? Do you know that resource at all?
I know the name, but no, I don't know anyone in it.
I went and did their Meet the Author event, which is sort of a crazy cattle call kind of a thing, but exhilarating. I mean, the authors there are wonderful, fascinating people. And off of that, you can then be invited anywhere in the country to speak. So I'm doing something on the East Coast through them. But the publishers, it's rare now to get a real book tour.
Okay, I was going to ask you, because now you're an established author. You got the cred. I'm sure that your editor loves you. I'm sure that your house loves you. If this were 10 years ago, I think that it would just be a foregone conclusion that by the time you reached the level that you've reached, which is now, this is your 6th book, correct?
Right, correct.
That they would have definitely thrown in their marketing juggernaut behind you and got you up to the top of the list. But that's not happening. Is it the economy?
I think your phrase, if this were 10 years ago, says pretty much everything.
Seriously.
And I've seen it in the nonfiction too, where our first book, which was an unknown, no one knew what was going to happen with that. They supplied much more publicity. My co-author was sent on a real book tour around the country. The second one, by that point, we had proven ourselves. The first book was a keeper. It's still a back of the catalog sales winner. And she, so we thought, oh, she'll do the same thing. And no, not this time. And they're just cutting back hugely.
Do you ever see yourself? And I haven't asked this of an established writer before, but do you ever see yourself shifting your energy to the web?
Actually publishing?
Yeah?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. And part of that may be the generation I am, that I grew up dreaming about having a book in a bookstore.
Got it.
I don't know whether the next generation is going to be that way.
Is there a mindset, Claire? Do you say, okay, adult fiction, here's where I am. YA, I've got to put on another cap. Nonfiction, I have to. I mean, nonfiction and fiction you do.
Yeah.
Because I write both, and so I know that. But with YA, are you at all anticipating?
It was a new muscle.
It was
a completely new muscle. I mean, I was this editor who's wonderful and well established.
Yeah.
Tore it apart in a way that I was at a place with my adult fiction where I get edits, but
Sure.
they're mild.
Yeah.
And I, sort of had to go back to page 1 and do it. It is its own beast. It really is. And I'm sort of thrilled, but it was hard. It was hard, and there was a moment of breaking down in tears and saying I can't do it, and then I pulled myself back together and I did it. There was a lot of got to keep it moving. It's a more succinct form, and there's a vibrancy to it that really you just want to keep it just humming along. Which you do with adult fiction, but there's a little more room for introspection and sort of
you gotta
delving deeper. Yeah, you really do.
Have you thought about how you're going to market YA? And I'm asking you this specifically because I've got something in my head that I want to share with you.
No. I mean, apart from I want to have I asked a friend who has a teenage daughter to help me have a party when the time comes. No, I really haven't.
I tell everyone who's in YA, do not forget to hit the schools, because schools love the books.
Right.
Yeah. The independent school system is nationwide, and they love authors. And so they get them in one school, and then they send you all over as much as you want to do.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's very cool, and I've worked with the independent school system, so we'll talk more about that if you'd like. This is 2010. You've had a 7-year arc of learning how to sell your work. If you could do one thing differently, looking back, would there be one thing that you wish you would have done that you know now that you didn't know then?
I think I should have created an internet presence much earlier.
Okay, good.
Much earlier. I really did that very recently.
Did you?
Yeah.
Because, I found you through Facebook. I just think that it is, well, you know what, I think it's a wonderful marketing tool that you're using very effectively. We have a lot of pros and cons about are you wasting your time on Facebook?
Right.
Is it time well spent? I think it's time well spent. What about you?
No, not necessarily, I have my personal page,
right, I know.
Just for fun. But the one that I created, the fan page, the writing page.
And would you say tell us the name of that?
Claire Lazebnik Writes. And a friend of mine was the one who told me I should call it that, because I was almost going to go with the book title, and she said, you're going to have more books coming out, you know, and you don't want to keep switching, so keep it your name, but make it clear that it's your fan page and not your personal page. And what's happening is there's a community that's growing up, and these women who are all over the country, I mean, some of them are my friends, but more of them you know, suddenly these names are popping up I've never heard of, and they're interacting with me, and they're saying wonderfully supportive things, and I'm hoping that they'll go out, and if they're at a bookstore with a friend, they're going to say, oh, but I love this woman, or I love her writing, or I love whatever. There's, like I said, a community, and I think that's how women learn about books they want to read anyway, is through these communities. It's through their friends, their mothers, their sisters, whatever. I think women like to connect.
Absolutely.
And I love connect. It means a lot to me.
I have always written fan letters to authors from the time I was very little. My first one was to Mike Royko, and he answered me back, and I still have it, because they always wrote back.
Yeah.
And the internet is just it's an easier way to get to them, and it develops intimacy.
Yes.
And you know, if you're of the belief that people write and read to get something that they can't get anyplace else, I think it's just Facebook. That connection is just fostering that.
I think so too.
Yeah, and so that a woman can say to her friend, oh my God, you have to read Claire's book. And by the way, she gave me a recipe for da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's, you know, it builds credibility for everybody.
Right.
So I think it is a really good tool. And I'm a proponent for it, and it's really why I wanted to ask you, because I sense that you
That's
absolutely
working for
are
me.
too. Yeah, it is.
And it
working.
works with my personality, it works with my time, you know, it feels right to me in a way that a lot of the events outside my home just never, you know, I'd show up and it was a huge expenditure and I never knew if anybody would come. And, you know, those things are much harder. This is, it feels very organic.
It's also a family affair. I mean, it can be a family affair because we're all on there together, and you can watch, you know, you can see develop relationships. So it's a good thing, and I'm very much a Facebook proponent, and I tell writers, get on Facebook and hook up with Claire.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you so much
for
taking the time. I know how busy you are. I can't imagine writing all that you do and mothering 4 children, and so we really appreciate it here at Marketing the Muse. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for tuning in to Marla Miller's Marketing the Muse author series. I had so much fun interviewing Claire Lazebnik, and I certainly hope that you learned as much as I did from this very prolific author and mother of 4 kids. Her latest novel, If You Lived Here, You'd Be Home Now, is on sale, and I hope that a lot of people buy it, because that's how we support each other. Be well.